There is nothing wrong with you. If business feels harder than you expected, that does not mean you are failing. It does not mean you are not disciplined enough, smart enough, or strong enough. It may simply mean you are carrying too much without enough structure around you. And for many founders, that is exactly where the pressure begins. When you start a business, you expect to work hard. You expect long days. You expect sacrifice. But what many founders do not expect is the emotional weight of being the place where everything lands. The questions come to you. The decisions come to you. The customer issues come to you. The money concerns come to you. The follow-up, the planning, the people, the problems, they all seem to find their way back to you. And after a while, it can start to feel personal. You may start saying things like, "I should be further along by now. I should be better at this. Why can't I stay focused? Why do I feel so tired? Maybe I am just not built for this." But here is the reframe. Business pressure is not always a sign that something is wrong with you. Sometimes it is a sign that the business has outgrown the way it is currently being carried. If this pressure is not addressed, it can begin to affect how you see yourself and how you lead the business. You may begin to second-guess your decisions. You may avoid tasks because everything feels too heavy. You may say yes to too much because you are trying to keep everything moving. You may stop planning and start reacting. You may become frustrated with your team, your customers, or even the business itself. And one of the hardest parts is this: you can love the vision and still feel tired from carrying the weight of it. That does not make you ungrateful. That does not make you weak. That makes you human. When founders do not address this pressure, they often try to solve it by working harder. But more effort is not always the answer. Sometimes the answer is a better structure, because shame does not build systems. Clarity does. Let's separate the person from the problem. You are not the problem. You are the person noticing the problem. That matters because when you believe you are the problem, you feel stuck. But when you can name the actual pressure point, you can begin to do something about it. Maybe the real problem is not your discipline. Maybe it is that too many decisions are waiting on you. Maybe the real problem is not your team. Maybe they do not have a clear process to follow. Maybe the real problem is not your lack of time. Maybe your calendar is filled with work that should no longer require your direct involvement. Maybe the real problem is not your confidence. Maybe you have not yet created enough small wins to prove to yourself that progress is possible. This is where everything begins to shift. Instead of asking, "What is wrong with me?" start asking, "What is this pressure trying to show me?" That question creates room for growth. You do not have to fix the whole business today. In fact, trying to fix everything at once often creates more overwhelm. The better question is, what is one small change that would make this week feel 5% lighter? Not 50%. Not perfect, just 5% lighter. Here are a few examples. If the same question keeps coming back to you, write it down and turn it into a simple rule. If you keep getting interrupted, create one response window instead of answering everything immediately. If you feel behind every day, choose your top priority before opening your email. If customer issues keep repeating, write one simple response script. If your team keeps waiting for approval, identify one decision they can begin making without you. Small changes matter because they create evidence. And evidence builds confidence. You do not build confidence by thinking harder. You build confidence by taking one action that proves change is possible. So here is the takeaway for this lesson. There is nothing wrong with you. Business is hard because it asks you to carry uncertainty, responsibility, decisions, people, money, and vision at the same time. But hard does not mean hopeless. When you stop blaming yourself and start identifying the pressure points, you can make one small change that brings relief, clarity, and momentum. Before you move to the next lesson, complete the One Thing Lighter worksheet. Answer these 3 questions. 1. What is one thing in the business that keeps coming back to me? 2. Does it need a system, a boundary, or support? 3. What is one small action I can take in the next 48 hours? Do not try to solve everything. Just make the business one thing lighter. That is how founder freedom begins.